Hello, I'm MP5 Deacon, and welcome back to Starcraft Remastered. And let's continue with Return to Char.
Executor, the Urash is secured, and the UED has given up the chase. We are currently holding perimeter orbit over the planet Char. Zeratul, have you locked onto the location of the Callus?
Yes. I remember sensing his power the last time I was on this world. However, our sensors indicate a massive, fluctuating energy signature at its location. I am, however, unable to identify the signature's source.
That should be obvious, gentlemen. The source is the Overmind itself. When the Cerebrates merged together, they must have locked onto the Callus energies and nested near it. It's probable that there'll be a number of broods protecting that area. It's risky, but if we can strike hard and fast, we might be able to fight our way through their defenses and escape with the crystal.
Comrades, I may have an alternative. Seeing as how the Overmind is still in its infant stages, I wonder if we might be able to disrupt its control over those broods. If we can do enough superficial damage to the creature, it might pacify the Zerg nearest to it, allowing us some time to retrieve the Callus.
A bold plan, young Artanis. Your courage rivals that of mighty Tazadar himself.
You give me too much credit, noble Zeratul. I am not worthy enough to even speak his name.
Touching. Look, boys, either of these plans will work, but let's not waste any time. I'll be able to exert limited control over a few of the Zerg here and provide you with some backup. But the longer we stay, the more we risk losing both the crystals again.
Agreed. Executor, deploy your forces. May Adun be with you.
Yes. So this is actually the start of, well, some very interesting mission design. Alright, let's get to it. Well, that's, not ideal. So we do start out with quite a lot. And again, we're given control of the Zerg faction this time, which is very nice. But it is a little much. I do like that they start us with observers over in these far-reaching areas, which is a nice way to teach us about the Lurker. So we'll mostly be focusing on the Protoss army. Again, if we want to go for the crystals here, this is probably the easiest to do and also the easiest to choose. We're just looking to get done with the mission as quickly as possible. Conversely, I think we're actually going to go and attack the Overmind here. I think that's going to be a more interesting experience for us. So observers are very important.
I'm waiting. They're a squeal.
They will be the mainstay of our forces and what really allows us to survive. So when they start moving those lurkers in, we're not really going to have good answers to them. Now the Protoss are much better for dealing with them than the Zerg is. Okay, what do we have? Build another hive. And it is a nice breakup from just playing a lot of Protoss. Now they do only give us Spire Tech, which is fine. Okay, we do have a gateway. What tech do we have? Could build. Huh. There's a lot of different options we can take here. In all honesty, I think there's a good argument to go and build. Whatchamacallit. Yes, I know, it's such a descriptive term.
Yes.
Corsairs, because with Disruption Web, they're actually quite good. Let's start working on these upgrades here. I mean, either way, we'll need a ground force if I do want to. I think I want to finally give Arbiters a shot. Again. We do have some nice shield batteries here. Let's double our cannons. Oh, we have no gas. That's concerning. So most of our expansions will actually be Zerg, just because the Zerg expansions are safer and easier to maintain control of, as opposed to the Protoss ones, which are, well, let's just say difficult. Yeah, these attacks are not too bad so far. I do like that they give us Dark Templar. They just, I mean, it's basically, they're slow zealots, but they do extra damage. And I'm perfectly fine with that. So we're actually going to go grab you, and we're going to build another pylon down here. Then we're going to rally our forces up here, and I think we just... We'll get some Templar. Arbiter Zerg might be very interesting. Oh, I already have him down there.
My life for hire.
You've not enough minerals. You've not enough minerals.
Very well. She house.
Okay. How's the Zerg forces looking?
Not enough minerals.
Good enough, I think. We're a little oversaturated on this. What's it? And now begins the kind of slower part of this mission, as per usual. We're gonna move our links up. Told you to go build that. This should be a sufficient enough defense here. Can you get out? Yeah.
Upgrade complete.
Actually, with Overlords, I don't even think we need observers. That's a great point.
Upgrade complete.
Alrighty. And then let's just make these all sunkens, and we should be pretty okay. We're gonna move down here a little later. We'll actually take these DTs while we have them and take care of those lurkers. Let's take care of the living lurker first. They'll probably send overlords up to distract, but hopefully they can't do anything in time. Now normally you don't want too many dragoons here, but we don't get Hive. I don't plan on using any Zerg air. There is no reason to have it. And then we want to make sure not to grab drops. Drops will actually mess with us more than we want. But I really do like how this is done, because even though you're,
I long for combat.
actually, what I'm gonna do is make some mixed control groups. We also don't have a lot of room at all here.
Acquire the investment gas.
Yeah.
You require more
Am I gonna
Vespene
even
gas.
be able to afford dual arbiter?
You require more Vespene gas.
Who knows?
Yes, Nerasculio. Yes, Zanashkulina. Nima.
And this is just gonna be a nice big group of, well, everything.
Yes.
I actually like being able to mix the units this way. It's pretty cool. We will need a Templar Archives that's more gas. Cannot sustain. I really grabbed Carapace. Huh. Weird choice. I'm macroing a little beyond my means for gas, so we're gonna have to expand. Which, you know what? I have the minerals to go do.
Zanashkulina. Nerasculio. For iron.
And there we go. That can be group 4. Now, I believe this is open and just freely available to me. If not, well, we'll find out very quickly. Again, we cannot get drops. Drops is actually the worst thing we could get. It will harm us in more ways than it could ever help us. I do wish we had access to Nidus Canals, though. That's the only thing I really am actually hurting for. But I feel we could probably start moving out with this force. Actually put on that Dragoon there. All these drones are gonna move on down. I'm so happy they're actually attacking into that. I also like, again, this mission just happens to be one of my favorite because we get so many cool different aspects about it that just come about really as a result of this interesting combination we have of Zerg and Protoss. Which, I think this mission is, I'd argue, what really solidifies Kerrigan's position with the Protoss, because she's actively working with them and for their purpose, at expense of her own. I mean, I guess she was also on Braxis, but I'd say this mission more than the others. And again, that's just going to be a theme that will get expanded on more and more of. Just the limited nature of things. Go and grab that since I have the money. That is not what I wanted. Strangely enough, about the exact same gas costs. Put some spores up. And then the rest here will be Sunkens, which I'm going to build 3 more of, because this base, I'm not really going to have stuff out there to actively defend it. So it's ever more important that it is just massed up with as many colonies as possible. Thankfully, colonies are ridiculously powerful, so I really don't have to worry about that. I'm a little concerned about the other. We can get some shields. I will use the Dragoons. Yes. Dragoons can detect now. It's the best thing ever, haven't you heard? I will use the observers to kind of scout ahead. Because I think they are quite adept at that. Now that we're building up that second gas, I really do want to another gateway.
Engage the enemy.
We're gonna make High Templar out of that. We're just gonna walk him. I don't see a reason not to. Have an Arbiter Tribunal. Tribunal. Yeah.
My life for ire.
And then we'll grab our second Stargate so we can pump out 2 at it. Can we
Your warriors have
build it
engaged the
here?
enemy.
What?
Upgrade complete.
Okay, that was just the AI being the AI. And thankfully, because our overlords, they're not aggressive units, so they're not really going to be targeted down. They can try to call these lurkers. Actually, I really like these lurker drops. They're really smart on the enemy's account.
You must construct additional pylons.
That's a great problem to be having.
Yes.
So we're gonna reinforce some Zerg for one. It is just really fun having this army comp. It just makes this mission just so interesting.
My life for ire.
We'll grab some Zerg.
I have returned. For ire.
And then 4 can get some Dragoons. It's a ranged only group. Alright, Proby. We are just gonna line the place with cannons because there's literally no reason not to.
You must construct additional pylons.
I guess in that time we'll go and grab a fleet beacon here, send you up there.
You must construct additional pylons.
You know what? I'm not concerned about that. Not at all. I think this is more than enough to deal with everything. 3 spores, crap ton of sunks, and yeah, they're just gonna get pulled down. Although I think I want another spore there, I guess. Or here, then we can have 3 attacking in the same, yes. Soon we'll be able to expand here, which I am going to use my probes for because they don't really have much else to do. And it's just another slow crawl. So I guess Stormgate's finally releasing, and I don't know, I don't really get that game. When I looked at it, I didn't get the appeal. It's not like... One that threw me for a run was Zero Space, because the ads for it just looked really weird, and it did not look like the type of game I would be playing. But once you actually see some of the people working on it talk about it, and not their ads, which I think so far actually failed to sell the game. I mean, it's in a very early state, so I'm not going to be too critical on those ads, but it just wasn't the best.
Upgrade complete. You require more Vespine gas.
And of course I do. Oh no, an Ultralisk. Are they really dropping Ultras on me? Don't make it. 5 health. If I would have patrolled move, I think I probably could have gotten that. Now those 2 Arbiters did just eat all of my gas. Well, I guess we start in group 5. We're gonna move down here. We're gonna keep 8 up with the main force. We're gonna build 3 probes out of there, and I guess we need a bunch of overlords.
Research complete.
How's that looking? Not good.
Upgrade complete.
Actually, we can send the drones over. I forgot about that. I can mine for my companions' buildings. What are you doing? It's going to be harmony between Zerg and... That is so beautiful. Unintentional victory right there.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Your field stabilized.
Can we just move a bit further? Yeah. I did once do a run. It was one of the weirdest runs I've ever done in my life.
We are vigilant.
And we have arbiters. So I pretty much think we have this mission, well, won by now. We're just going to continue macroing up forces.
Gas.
We're going to move our Templar over, and I think let's just run the observer down and prepare for the next section. I do like, again, how they introduce you to the lurkers in a safe, controlled manner on this mission. So they're not a big force. They're really minuscule, like almost nothing. 4, 5. Let's take that. Press that. I want some dragoons in there.
Upgrade complete. Dross. Upgrade complete.
Alrighty, now that we're gonna have these, we're gonna actually make good use of recall. So recall's another thing. Again, you just hallucinate a bunch of them, just fly it down. In fact, we could do that here since I have arbiters. I could just recall onto the overmind. That may not be a bad idea. Let's go and grab that air. That's air armor 3, right? Yeah. So that'll be done there in a moment. Let's get these guys down here because the mutas are just the actual problem.
We are under attack.
Would you please leave? Thank you. And then we'll just add to the sport. Well, that must have been a big attack. We'll just build it tighter. It's why we're doing it. It's just easier than having units there, although I do have the supply I could, and the money, to support enough Reavers to basically sit there for the rest of eternity. But who wants to do that? So I kind of want to try this idea. Did I grab that upgrade? No, I didn't. Well, I guess we can continue the offensive until then, and I guess I can just save. Absolutely no harm in any of this. Now we want to be very careful with this, just because there's Scourge here.
Yes.
Let's just move these guys down. Archons are a great option here. I do have to state that. They just work so well here. This is really one of my, again, just such a great mission.
Warriors have engaged the enemy.
Ah, yes. An Overlord was poked.
Upgrade complete.
An Arbiter was hit by a Scourge, I think.
Research complete.
And we're just kind of massing up a giant army. We do have that, so I could attempt it. I'm kind of interested in trying that out. I want to. We're gonna do it.
Grenadul. Ninkasnim. Garan. Ninkasnim.
Go on over. Let's do this.
Garan. Warriors have engaged the enemy. Garan. Ninkasnim. Very well.
I think this just works. Can we recall again?
Not enough energy. Just not enough energy.
I guess we could stasis.
Engage the enemy.
This is just so interesting to me that I can actually do this. I mean, I don't think it's the best idea, and like, what am I really supposed to do with all these High Templar here? They're just kind of existing. Those are my own Hydras. That was a great storm on my own units.
Yes.
Well then. I feel absolutely terrific in my capabilities here. Let's just grab some Archons. My gosh. Well, it works.
Executor, the Callus is ours. Let us depart this wretched world and return to Shakuras. Provided there is still a Shakuras to return to.
That's another thing the campaign kind of fails on, is the actual scope and scale of the situation is really bad. Like, Shakuras is being very terribly overrun, and is struggling to hold out against the swarms that are just flooding in from Ire. It's just, I don't know, Broodwar is just weird in that way, and it's a shorter mission count, because we only have 2 more missions after this. Just 2, and then it's over. Which is, it just creates a lot of story issues there. Like, the points make sense, as I've said before, but they just don't get explained. I think this worked out well enough. I hope this was interesting. But yeah, this mission's pretty much just like a big old sandbox, and that's why I love it so much. Like, you can even support your ground forces of Zerg with, again, Corsairs, for example, and the D-Web is just... D-Web a lurker? What it's gonna do? We're the best thing in the world, D-Web Hydras. But I think that's it. Hope you enjoyed.